Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come in, hit that like, hit that share button. Live streaming from Vegas. If you all been following me, you know that's where I am. And I'm going to share with you some gems that I've learned from this conference, pretty much a cash flow conference, understanding the power of network marketing, and also understanding the power of a home-based business, right? The power of network marketing and the power of home-based business. So happy Sunday to you all. On my way out. So there are two basic investments. Let me get right to the point. Two basic, very basic investments. And also come in, tell me where you from. Drop your city and state. Let me know where you are tuning in live from. I tell people all the time, I'm from Mississippi, and if you can call me a person of color, but if a black woman from Mississippi can get assets in this economy, can get assets as we are having a financial system reset, right? If I can have it in a poverty state of Mississippi that's still dealing with racism, and in the midst of a water crisis like Flint, Michigan, you can do it from anywhere. You can do it from any state, any area, from institution. It's all about your mindset. So let me tell you why you want to build on your cash flow now. Now more than ever, we're seeing these economic trends. We're seeing I study the economy. I study how it moves. Not only just I really don't even study according to the media at all. In fact, I don't even watch the news because I don't let the news give me the information that only they want me to receive. Right? I was listening to a Papa Duck podcast, and one of the things Papa Duck says is that news is abbreviated for north, east, west, and south. I thought that was real powerful, right? North, east, west, and south. So I did not know that that was what the news was abbreviated for. And so the news will only inform you about what the news wants you to know, right? They won't inform you about what's ahead, what's coming to the economy, but I can tell you specifically beginning this week, you're going to see a whole financial system reset, right? Many people, for example, thought that President Biden, went to Arabia, right, to beg for more oil. No, that wasn't the purpose of Joe Biden visiting, or that visit, to beg for them to supply more oil for the United States. The purpose of Joe Biden visiting it is to beg them, right, to get off of to beg them not to release the dollar, to beg them to stay on the dollar and the global world reserve currency. Most people don't know, for example, why the global world reserve currency is what it is, right? Thomas said, "Love your channel. You're from Mississippi, right?" So, being from Mississippi or any state is no reason to be poor. Poverty is a mindset. Poverty is a mindset. And then after your mindset, then it has to be a skill set. And I tell people too, it's also a lack of financial education. Now, one thing, whether you're from Mississippi or Massachusetts or Maine, it doesn't matter. You're going to have a financial education, even with your mindset, because having the right mindset and doing the wrong things with your money is going to be counterproductive, right? Let me say that again. Having the right mindset, but making the wrong moves and doing the wrong thing with your money is going to be counterproductive. So again, I studied the market trends. I know where we are headed. I know what's ahead, people. And it is for the people that's unprepared, right, financially, it is going to be um, nothing short of an economic depression, not a recession. Most people are used to recessions because they saw 2008. They never lived through 1930s Great Depression, but you can go and Google that. It was not. It was a harsh, right? A harsh economic times, and it took more than just. It took years for people to pull out of that. Right. I'm in Vegas right now on the West Coast, and gas per is over $5 a gallon. So if you are in areas maybe like Mississippi or anywhere down south, where gas is still $3 a gallon or maybe $2.90, you think that things are going to be okay. But I tell people, right, you're still paying 50 to 60 cents, even if your gas prices is, I think I'll put the shades on. Even if your gas prices is still $2.90, right, you're still paying 50, 60 cents higher for gas than you were paying in January at the beginning of this year. Like, I have to get people to think. I have to get people to think. So, two very basic lessons, right, about investing. I'm gonna get into this because our whole philosophy of this conference, of this network marketing business, is cash, asset, cash, right? Give me a second, y'all. Let me get my stylus. Cash, asset, cash. What does that mean, Queen? That means that you should be finding ways to build up your cash, whatever your current income level is right now, to increase and enhance that. I have people on my team that's connected with me in business that's virtually increased the cash that they were earning out of their paycheck by $600 more, and that's every pay period. It's not just one time. So virtually everyone on my team, from $300 to $600, or even $1,400. It was a married couple increased their cash flow from their paychecks by $400. So just a real quick lesson when I went and got my stylist. I learned this from Robert Kiyosaki. It looks like the Southern Cross, doesn't it? Right? You have two lines, one running north-south, the other line's running east-west. There's 4 ways you can make money in America. Right? This is what you don't learn in school. There's 4 ways to make money in America. So the first way is the E. The E stands for employee. You have 95%. This is called quadrants. It's broken down to quadrants. 95% of Americans earn money this way. Right? Let me give you a news flash, right? As again, Papa Duck said, news stands for north, east, west, and south. The rich do not work for money, they work for assets. So even if you have a job, if you are, I've earned money in all 4 quadrants. Even if you have a job, the whole purpose of your job should be more than to just have income coming in. And I could give a whole nother lesson about the difference between income and revenue, but to have enough income coming in to just pay bills and spend the money. Most Americans that struggle financially without this financial education, they have jobs and then they take that money to pay bills and then to spend it. They never have an investing overhead, or they never invest in anything. I asked this question about 2 weeks ago on my Facebook page, and I also discussed it on YouTube. And I asked, what was the number one undervalued asset in the world, right? If you look at that, if you Google that, the answer per Google will be silver. So that's why I tell people about silver. Silver investing right now. Silver is much more than just an asset. And I'm going to break down the difference between investing for cash flow and capital gains. Silver is something that if you can have in your possession, and as we enter into this depression and these hard economic times, that you can actually go to the store and purchase food with, to put food on the table. As the physical dollar is now being converted or changed over to digital dollars. But back to my topic, employees. I think, in addition to silver is the most undervalued asset in the world, the most undervalued investment that most people have, whether they are employees or they earn their money some type of way, is in themselves. People will not invest in themselves and in their financial education. They will complain about how these are not taught in schools, right? Even if you go to college and you see Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover, have you ever asked yourself, why are these institutions of education, institutions of learning, why they're willing to sell me these Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover, but not educate me about it? And most people will complain about that, but they won't invest in the education themselves, right? Everything doesn't have to be taught in the school system. And if it's not taught, what's stopping you from investing and getting that education? Even school and colleges and university is an investment. It takes an exchange of money called tuition. And so if you are only making money in the employee bracket, more than likely you're only spending money and paying bills. Why do you say that, Queen? Because I know you don't have enough left over to invest. But Queen, how do you know that? Because the government, for people that only want to earn money this way, they're going to take 30% right off the top. And then they're going to take the other percentages by increasing the prices of goods and services, which is called inflation. Now, the other cash flow quadrant I learned from Robert Kiyosaki is called self-employed. This is also can be referred to as your six-figure income earners. That's the S quadrant, like doctors, like lawyers. Also, the S can be also represent self-employed, six-figure income earners, and specialists like doctors and lawyers. They have a specialized degree or specialized area that they practice and they earn their money out of. Well, you know what? This tax bracket is taxed even higher, more than the employee. The more money you make, the more the government will take, right? And so with this being said, this is why the self-employed six-figure income earners, specialists, they get taxed 40%. So for every dollar they make, they're only going to bring home 60 cents on the dollar, and the employee is only going to bring home 70. This is what you call hustling backwards. For every dollar that you earn, for every dollar that you exchange a whole lot of your time for. And if you have a paycheck and not a 1099, sometimes the S quadrant have 1099, your paycheck, this is not even including your medical insurance that come out, your dental, your vision. You haven't even spent your money yet. And so this is why savers, according to Robert Kiyosaki, are losers. Because now, even if you save your money, and Robert Kiyosaki teaches this as well, why do you think you're encouraged? Sometimes the upper middle class, not the poor working class, because they don't have enough money left over to save in most cases. So the upper middle class philosophy in most times is to save their money. And Robert Kiyosaki breaks it down this way. Why do you want to save money? Why do they tell you to save money? Well, it's called the fractional reserve banking system. They want you to save it so they can lend it out to others. See, for every direct deposit, every bit of money that you have saved in the bank, they can lend out 10 times against your money because that's their leverage. So the rich learn the rules to go broke. What do you mean? They don't save in cash. They invest in assets. They don't. Rock City says, "How my trip going?" Great question. Right on time. Right on cue. They don't take trips to get away, to just relax. Like this whole trip for me is tax write-off because I'm connected to the home-based business. My whole Vegas trip, my experience, portion of my meals, my traveling, right? And I'm surrounded by like-minded people who are not at the casino. Some of them might want to go to the casino and gamble. I'm not. That's their prerogative. But at the most part, they put things in priority first. They come to the conference and they get a financial education first, and then if they want to go and gamble their money, right? I met with someone, and I want to do an interview with him today. Wanted to see if he's going to interview with me about before he collaborated with this business, right? That he was paying back 12 to 18,000 back in taxes. Now he's getting tax refunds. So, other ways to make money in America is the B quadrant. And this is self-employed people, for example, own a job. Employees are own the job, ON, but big businesses, you own a business system. And when you own a business system, the more money you make in America, the less the government can take. And the biggest system that has the most tax deductions so that you can keep more of the money that you make and you can continue to grow your money at the same time is a home-based business that has 470 tax deductions. See, the ES side of the quadrant, they exchange a whole lot of time for money. On this side of the quadrant, you own a system that will work for you and that will work for you, and you get tax deduction. Again, rich and wealthy people work for assets, not cash. Cash is the lowest yielding asset that you can have. So they own a business system and they maximize tax-free money. And they take that money and they convert it into assets. And then you have the I side of the quadrant, which means you're taxed at 0%. A business, home-based business owner is taxed anywhere from 10 to 20%. That means you get to keep 80 to 90 cents on the dollar. But then if you take that money and invest, you're taxed 0%. This is why when the rich and wealthy do these strategies, number one, they leverage and use debt to get assets, not liabilities. Because debt is money that is not taxed. So they take that money and they invest it in assets. Things that put money into their pockets, things that feed them, not liability, things that starve you, take money out of your pockets, right? And so two types of investments is cash flow versus capital gains. Now, the cash flow investments are the hardest to find. Most people don't realize this. This is why most people don't invest in cash flow. I personally think capital gains is a Ponzi scheme. Capital gains example is if you take a house, you fix it up, you renovate it, you flip the property, and maybe you put $100K into it, but you sell it for $200K. Well, then the government come in and tax you higher on the sale. Or you buy stock for $1, right? And then you trade it, you do trading, and you sell it for $2. Then the government come in and tax you on the sale. Capital gains, Ponzi scheme. I believe in most cases. For example, a lot of people that want to invest in gold and silver, they just want to invest for the capital gains. They're not looking at that this can actually purchase food if I invest in silver. They only want the capital gains, and then they don't further their research to understand what gold and silver that you should be investing in that you do not have to file taxes on the sale. Right? What gold and silver that when you convert it back for capital gains that you don't have to pay taxes on the sale. See, this is financial education. So cash flow is the hardest to find. For example, if you invested $10 and you receive $1 back, that's a 10% return on your investment. That's called an ROI. When people get in the home-based business for me, some of them don't understand this. I'm like, okay, you were overpaying taxes in your paycheck. Now, by joining the business, you ask me, do you have to pay a monthly subscription? This is financial literacy. This is terminology that the poor, working class, and middle class use. When you are in a business, it's not a subscription. It's an investment because that money comes back to you in your ROI, return on investment, especially in a home-based business that gives you 470 tax deductions. And my mentor said it this way in the conference: people, you cannot have residual income without residual investments. Even in cryptocurrency, even in silver, you're told to dollar cost average for a reason, and that your investing should be a residual automatic wealth, right? If you read the book Automatic Millionaire, it should be a residual automatic activity that you set up and do on purposely. So subconsciously, you're not fighting with your conscious mind about, should I be doing this residually? Because the only way to financial freedom is to have residual investments. Why do you think your bills come residually, like clockwork? Because these companies and these businesses understand that if they want to remain wealthy, they have to have you paying them on a monthly basis, which you get back in greater returns on your investment at the end of the year. It is just broken down into smaller increments, right, of payments. So Monopoly, people, is nothing more than a cash flow game. And I'm logging off. I have to be in my meeting. Monopoly is nothing more than a cash flow game. Monopoly teaches you that if for every house that you get, you can cash flow. You might cash flow $18 every time someone lands on your house. Then you get 2 houses. Now you're cash flowing $36. So my question to you, whether however way you're earning your money, because I earn money, I've earned money, and I'm earning money in all 4 quadrants as an employee, as self-employed, when I had my own credit repair business, for example, as a home-based business owner, and as an investment. My question to you is, are you positioning your paycheck to cash flow for you by connecting your paycheck to a home-based business? If you're self-employed, are you connecting your C Corp, your LLC, or your S Corp to a business that will cash flow for you, meaning that you're not always trading your time for money? I saw a post on Facebook that says, I'm chasing the money, but how about putting yourself in a position where the money chases you? Text cash flow to the number on the screen, you all, 254-788. Let me give you an offer that's going to give you an inexpensive way to cash flow so you can invest in assets that's going to help you not only become rich in this financial reset, but also be able to survive it, because not everybody's going to survive when this economy turns upside down. Hit like and share button. I hope I gave you a wealth of value and financial education in 20 minutes. And so show that reciprocity if and by texting that number to improve yourself cash flow wise, and by hitting that like and share button.